segment is sponsored by the Virginia529 College Savings Plan.
Thank you there, Nikki D. The cost of college is already high. What if you had like 10 degrees like Nikki does? Imagine how expensive it's going to be when it's time for your child or grandchild to head off for their freshman year. Luckily, there are ways to ensure that you and your family will be able to cover the cost of higher education. Scott Ridley joins us this morning from Virginia529. Good to see you again.
Good morning.
Let's talk about this for a second because,
Sure.
you know, one thing's sure, it's kind of like death and taxes. The cost of going to college is going to go up.
It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got 3 young ones in my household,
Wow.
and 10 years from now, what's it going to look like? It's already $50,000-$60,000 for 4 years.
Yeah.
So who knows what it's going to be like?
Well, I think we all know things don't go down in price. Let's talk about the prepaid plan and help parents and grandparents and help them with their future. How does the whole thing work in like 10 seconds?
Well, it's that time of year again. Our prepaid plan ends on March 31st. So what it does is it allows families to prepay their future tuition and mandatory fees at Virginia University. So if you know your child wants to go to University of Virginia or VCU or any of the other great state schools, it gives you a chance to pay in advance that tuition so you don't have to worry about what the rates are going to be like 10, 15 years from now. You're essentially locking in the price today.
Obviously, and today and tomorrow, and then
That's right.
and then we're done for a little while. Let's talk about who's eligible for this and when it can be used and how it can be used.
It's the only one of our plans that has an age restriction. So it's available from a newborn through someone that's in the 9th grade right now, and it's eligible for them to be used obviously 3 to 4 years in the future. So that 9th grader, when they go to college, is the first time they can use it. But you have to do it earlier than the rest of the plans. And if you're past 9th grade, if your kid's in late high school or already into college, it's still okay. We have other plans and options that can help them out. But this one is one for those families that really want to get that planning done in advance.
And like I said, parents and grandparents or family members can help out with this.
That's right. It's not just mom and dad, grandpa, grandma, the aunts and uncles, nieces. It could be for anyone, really. So whoever opens up the account gets the tax deduction. There's a great $4,000 state tax deduction each year, and prepaid plans are eligible for it. It is still a 529 plan, but it's a good alternative to the traditional gift. So if you give your kid another stuffed animal or another set of Legos, how about kicking $25, $50 into a 529 account that they can really use to grow their education later on down the line?
Let's talk about, you mentioned UVA, there's Virginia Tech, all these other schools. Do they have to go to a state college, or could they go to a professional school
Sure.
or a trade school?
Well, the prepaid plan is designed for the state schools, so that's for Virginia Tech and UVA, like you said. But our other plans, and even really the prepaid plan, you can use it anywhere, not just at a state school. You can use it at a private school. You can use it anywhere across the country. It's just a different level of what you can get out of your prepaid contract. Now, our other 3 plans can be used universally across anywhere in the country, really across the world. You can use it in London. You could use it in Italy if you really wanted to. So you're not locked into just attending school in Virginia. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions we're always trying to clear up.
Okay, good. Let's talk about the prepaid calculator tool.
Well, there's a lot of folks that are intimidated because the prepaid plan can be a little bit more expensive because you are paying for tuition and fees at their current rates. But what the calculator does, it allows you to kind of play around and see what you can afford. So you know you might have gotten a nice tax refund this year, or you got a little bit of an inheritance, and you can see how much money you can afford or see how much of a contract you can afford to get before that March 31st deadline comes into play.
All right, and like you said, we got a deadline here, and you can compare this program to other programs.
That's right.
And make a decision pretty easily.
So March 31st is that deadline. That's tomorrow. So we really got to get moving if you're looking to lock in this year's tuition rates. Prepaid plan opens up every year, so if you can't get into it this year, then next December is when we open it up again for more contracts. But if you can't afford prepaid, or if it's not the right thing for you right now, look at our other plans. It's really got opportunities to get started.
And the plan's been around Virginia for several years now, and obviously you're adding new things all the time to make it better for parents.
Well, we're coming up on our 20th year. Actually, the prepaid plan started in 1996, so next year is kind of our anniversary. And that was it when we first started off, and we've in subsequent years added the other options for those families that can't afford to pay the full cost of tuition, and you can do just that $25 a month or $5 a month, really. You can do it as simple as that. But there's also different portfolios and options for folks that might not want to have as aggressive as a portfolio. There's ones targeted to socially savvy investors. There's lots of different options to fit everyone's saving style.
Well, thank you for all the information. And folks,
Absolutely.
we're getting close to the finish line here. Prepare your child for the education they need today. Learn more about Virginia529 College Savings Plan online at Virginia529.com, with offices located at 9001 Arboretum Parkway here in Richmond. They're very helpful over there. Been there myself.